Okay, I am live. It is February the 27th, 2026. I'll say that again, 27 February 2026. It's 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, Yesterday, 8 years ago, okay, I'll wait till people start filing in here. And yesterday was 8 years ago that my poor sister passed away. How you guys doing? You can see my face now. Okay, so yesterday was the 8th anniversary or lamenting anniversary of my sister's death. She passed away on February the 26th, 2018, and she was 50 years old. So I outlived her by a long shot. And I feel bad because I was just talking to her husband yesterday, and I said, isn't it amazing how these old SOBs, I have relatives like this. I have one that smokes weed all the time, and I have another one that drinks, and or at least did drink. And um, these old people, these relatives that you have living to be in their 80s, and like you see these miserable people all the time. They drink, they smoke, they use every destructive vice you can imagine, and they're still living. You find it. Oh, how's Joe Schmuckenhauser doing? And they, oh, he's 87. He's still kicking it, man. It's like, well, I knew the dude. He was eating Big Macs. He was eating Whoppers and full double load of fries, smoking a pack of Marlboro cigarettes, and just completely like getting like the kind of person that doesn't take care of their health. And guess what? They're 87, 88. I got a conclusion to this. I think that this is my own theory. You can call it for what it is. I think some people are just too mean to die. I do. I think that there's something to be said about this. When a person is sociopathic and they make everybody around them miserable, they generally have a strong will to live. People that make other people's lives miserable have a strong will to live. And these are the people that drink, they smoke, they don't have to quit smoking. Well, some of them do. They're like 95. They quit when they were 75. I guess they got a break in life. And then the other theory is that they're so mean that God doesn't even want them. I know. Who am I to judge? I know. I get it. But anyways, things are going good right now. Yes, kind of sad about it yesterday. My sister passing on the way she did, and it was kind of weird because it coincided with the time I was taking care of my mom. She was already in the nursing home by then, but my mom, her reaction to it was like, oh, I feel like she didn't really react very sad with sadness because my mom was in and out of consciousness. So of course, I took care of my mom. It's another subject for another day. Um, and It's just sad. But anyways, hanging in there. 15 in the chat right now. I'm doing this kind of semi early. I don't want it to spill over into the next day, so I can say that this chat is February the 27th of 2026, and it's a Friday. Yeah, it was sad. It was a very sad time for me, and it was my sister was like a super hot looking chick. Man, she really was good looking, and she had that very Slavic Eastern European look about her. Like she looked like one of those girls you would see in the old mail order catalogs. Get your wife from the Ukraine, and it was this really pretty Slavic woman. She did look like that. She didn't look Anglo at all. I mean, my sister did not look. She looked Slavic. That's just how Slavs look. They have a different look about them. But thank you for thank you, Vengalis or whatever your name is. I'm going to start putting these up here now. He said dashboard is live, so it might take a bit. Oh my God, is he live? I hope somebody's recording this. If you guys can somehow just even take a camera to it and just film the screen. I did not know he's live right now. Holy cow! And I wasn't even listening. I'm wondering that right now. Let me see if Help by the Dashboard Live is live, and is he still? That'll be it. Maybe I'll simulcast his thing here. Holy cow! I'll go to YouTube. Hell by the dashboard light. Now, I don't really think I'm going to listen to him anyways. I don't think he's on live. I don't see him live. I don't see him live. He's not live. I don't know who's making up this nonsense. Okay, I don't know where he's live, but you say he's live. But on what channel is he live? You said he's live. Okay. You said he's taking a bathroom break at a second. He got music playing. That's weird. Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, my sister passed away 8 years ago yesterday, and how time flies. And it's hard to believe she'd be 58 right now, pushing 59. She was born on May 31st, 1967. And it's kind of sad. Life goes on. Anyways, I am taking and I am going to offer people the ability to come in here if they so choose. Ooh, I'm sorry. If anybody wants to come in here, if they don't, that's okay too. I'm thinking that the people that will probably try to come in here are going to be the typical ones that come in here all the time here, which is fine. Copy. Let me see if I can right click and get this in here. Paste. Why is this not pasting in here? I'll do a right click copy. And then I'm going to try to hit paste. I can't even paste it. This is weird. Oh, that's why. Okay, paste. Okay, so this is my invite link, but again, I'm not sure that I want to do this yet. And anyways, typical loser. No, she didn't. My sister did not leave any nieces or nephews, and she was very adamant she didn't want kids. She was happy with her life the way it was. She told me one time, she says, I love other people's kids, but she goes, sometimes I just am glad I don't. She actually, her husband he's a single father, and he still is a single father. I mean, he's not married. And his son, he gets, like I said, my sister got along with him pretty good, actually. Steve, could you do an Alf impression? He could. Alf impression. Alf, the fictitious. Yep. With 2017 was a good year. Alf impression. I remember that show. That's an old show. That was dumb. That was all cheesy videotape shows from the 80s. So you say that Dashboard is live. What's the name of his channel that you say he's live? I'm going to look on my... Okay, because I'm going to have to go back. Let me see if he's live. I don't even know if he has that channel up anymore, does he? Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Anyways, anybody want to come in here, we can talk about a lot of different things here. There is no need to see here. And I just got back from the gym. My hair's all whacked out. I guess I got a shower yet, so I decided to go ahead and okay, so Dead Cat 7. Have I had you on here before? Just wave to the camera, shine your face. I think I've seen you before. Please don't do anything and just wave. I'm not recording you. Okay, I've seen you before. Okay, turn it off. Turn it off. Off. Okay, good. I'll let you on here. Dead Cat. I think I've had you on here before. Add to stage. You are coming in. Okay, good.
Hey, I'm the British guy.
Oh, British guy. Well, I need to have an accent in here. That's awesome. How you doing, Dead Cat?
I'm okay. It's pretty late here, so I probably won't stay for too long.
Okay. What's it like living TFL in England? Is it pretty much is TFL True Force Loneliness all hitting across the globe?
Yeah, it's it's okay. It's just the same. It's pretty similar, I think, to
Yeah.
other places.
You don't have to talk about that. There's so many other things that I want to talk about and don't want to talk about. But I just want to let me turn this stupid thing off there. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't want to get into the whole, and I don't expect people to agree. I mean, I talk politics too. Right now, there's more heavier fish to fry right now with this crazy war that Trump is trying to instigate in Iran, and it's completely an instigated war. But I don't know what else to say. There's a lot. This is called a random rant, so I can be talking about anything really in here. Just name something you want to talk about, I guess.
Well, I was going to tell you that I was in a Discord with Dashboard,
Okay.
and he actually he kicked me out of his Discord just because I was talking to you about he was taking like some benzos and stuff like that, and
Benzos?
just because I told you, he got mad and kicked me out.
Okay, what is benzos?
But benzos is like this kind of psych meds that relax you. They're kind of like they're addictive.
That's not a good thing to be taken. I haven't had a drink now in 9 months. I'm celebrating. Yeah. The longest I went was 37 months. I'm a beeraholic by trade, but I just said, the hell with it. I need to have a clear thinking brain. I can't be sitting there. I had a friend who just called me recently, and he's drunk while he's talking. I said, look, dude, you can't be calling me and be drunk like that. I can't understand what you're saying. So,
but by the way, I've got Dashboard on in the background, and he's kind of ranting about it as well. He's
not as coherent. I've had one-on-one conversations with Dashboard. What is he on? What is he on right now? Who is he talking?
I think he changed his channel name. I don't know why, but
okay.
Yeah, he's the same old, just like you. It's weird. Things don't change, man.
Is he? Well, he kind of rants about stupid, like when people start laughing at their own jokes, it actually shows a crazy sign. I don't laugh at it. Yeah.
But he went to Germany, man.
Oh, he did.
He went for a short trip to Germany. He got on the plane and he went. So
yeah,
he proved the naysayers wrong. He did visit Germany.
Okay, he did. You're not German, are you? Are you German?
Oh, I think he wants to talk to you or something. He's saying
he wants to talk to me. He can get right in the chat right now. I can send him the link.
That's good. I'm kind of like the middleman. I'm like the British middleman.
What I would have to do is you could clip him. Here's what you can do. Do you want me to put that back in here, the link, and then you can? I
don't know. I'm kind of looking at two screens here. It's
okay, because you could get me you could get me the link, and I could give you the link one more time, and he could come in here. I'm hoping it's him.
Of course, yeah, it's him.
You know for a fact it's him.
Of course, he's doing the streams again.
What is his name?
He was talking about
he can come.
These stories of these teachers doing the.
I won't ask him any tough questions. So what's the story about teachers?
Well, they have affairs with their students and things, and he thinks it's like these like kind of colored kids that are getting it in with the teachers. But I saw the story recently, and they showed a blurred picture of the student, and it was just like this white jock Chad student guy that was having an affair with his teacher. It's like
well, but I don't.
Yeah,
if he can keep things coherent, that's great. If not, if he's going to be all over the map, but he's different when he talks. He's a little bit more coherent when he talks one-on-one with me, which is different when he's ranting to an audience. So it's different. So he's not lost his marbles when he talks to me. He's very clear and succinct. He makes his points, and I love talking to him one-on-one. It's a riot.
He's a smart guy.
I don't hate the guy. I get a little upset with him, but I thought we were going to meet up one time, and it just didn't. It didn't.
Oh, he's going to Germany, man. He wants to go back.
Well, tell him I can meet him there too, but I wouldn't film him or anything like that. But go to Germany is great. I mean, I'm considerably older than him, but I could find some old raggedy old German woman, right? Yeah. I don't think age matters as much. I see 30-year-old women with 60-year-old guys all the time. And these are guys that don't even have money. I mean, it's you still see these outliers, which to me, anybody that says, oh, it's over after a certain age is wrong, because there's always these, okay, I'm going to kick you out of here. Yeah, I got to kick this guy out of here. I mean, this is the, I'll put him in a timeout. Yeah, that would be nice to get him on here. That would be awesome. But if not, that's okay too. So you go by Dead Cat, right?
I used to be Ice Cat, but I got my channel deleted.
Oh, Ice Cat, you had your cat. Oh, you had a great channel. You had a fantastic channel. You used to do, you did some talks with Insomatics. Am I correct?
First, yeah, I did. Great guy.
Do you know who that guy is? I mean, have you ever actually had him, like, seen his face or anything?
No, but I know I was on his Discord for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's good. He's probably moved on now. Maybe he's even got a partner.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, they do end up finding a partner.
The problem with these younger guys in this community is that this guy, wave to me real quick here, Easy. You want to say hi? You going to be civil on here if I let you in? Okay. All right. I'll let you in here. All right. What are you going to, okay. I will hit the, I will boot him out of here.
I think Dashboard wants to have a chat.
Yeah, with me? He does? Okay. Easy. Do you want to show your face or not show your face? Do you want to just, oh, you will? Okay. You're not afraid to show your face? Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, what's up, Easy?
Hey, how are you? You know, I've been looking to your videos for like a couple of months now.
Okay, good.
Yes, so the True Force Loneliness, what do you think that's happening? What's the like, is this natural, or do you think this is happening because someone is trying to make this happen?
It's not trying to make, it's a couple combination. Bill Greathouse is the founder of the term True Force Loneliness. He came up with the term to describe a problem where a man goes year after year after year. He sees guys with a girl. What I believe it is demographics. There are just too many dudes. It's a combination of several factors. The first thing is immigration is massively, overwhelmingly male. This applies to the UK too. But you have all these excess men coming into these countries like the United States. And then, of course, all your H-1B1 visas that are awarded to people in the technical field go to men, which are like East Indian men, Chinese men. The Canada has got like an influx of like 800,000 excess Indian men were brought over here. So you messed up the demographics. And when you have an excess of men like 3 to 1, you can't physically see it. This is the problem. People say, well, if there were 3 to 1 men, I would see it. Not necessarily. Because like if you go to the gym, for example, I go to the gym and I do see an even ratio of women to men at the gym, and they're good looking women. But that doesn't mean anything in terms of what's really going on in the dating market today. So you could have like all these shit kicker guys walking around at the local gas station. And you're like, man, it's like middle of the day. And I see these guys walking with the 12 pack, and I see this all the time. So these men come out at night. And just to tell you, I have lived in areas where there are like 5 men within a city block of me that are single guys who live alone, have a decent average to decent paying job. And these are the guys they're hiding. They're like, they come out in the night. They typically, excess men don't generally come out in public. So that's why you don't see them, but they're there,
I do agree, because I have friends, and I will say that most of them are single. Only 1 or 2 of them are married.
Right.
I mean, like around 9 solid friends that I hang out with.
Right.
And only 2 of them are married, and they didn't marry the women they actually wanted. They married
They settled for what they could get, and a lot of guys are okay with that. They'll settle for some overweight woman because the woman gives them sex on demand. They've got something they can hold on to, and actually, I don't fault them for that, because as you get older, you're going to need somebody to take care of you. Hopefully, it works for them, you know. So I don't hold that against them, but yeah, generally speaking. Oh, the other demographic change happened with Gen X, my generation. The baby boomer men in the 1980s and 90s, they had excess money. They were divorcing their wives in droves. And they were dipping into this ever decreasing smaller pool, which was my generation. My generation suffered from lack of employment. Guess what a woman's going to do that's my age? Jump up to the 37-year-old guy that's got a good job, good career. He's living the good life. He's got his own house. And unfortunately, that is exactly what happened in the United States. The double, triple, quadruple dipping into the dating. I don't know if you ever listened to Mercer. Have you ever heard him?
No, I haven't.
Mercer's this guy. He kind of comes and goes. He hasn't made a video in like 7-8 months, but he's this 32-year-old guy from Canada, and he's the product of a third marriage. His dad was able to double dip or triple dip. He dipped into the obviously one wife, and then he had a second wife and then a third wife. Fortunately, most of his siblings are all girls, but it nevertheless it doesn't change the fact that, you know, these guys really did well. These guys born in like 1940, 41, they were able to really clean up.
Right. Do you think this might change? Is it over for our generation?
It's over. It's over, and I'll tell you why. Because, and I'm not trying to be cruel about it. You can go. There are places you can go. But the reason why it's over is because you cannot artificially create something out of nothing. We can't manufacture more women so that these guys can have women. This is not going to end because the demographics don't favor it. Now, Bill Greathouse does not agree with me, and that's fine. And me and him agree on most of everything, but not this issue. He thinks it's all social engineering, that the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds have pushed this, the bankers have done this. Yes, but it's not at the top of the pyramid. At the top of the pyramid of this dysfunction is the racial imbalance, which highly favors women and does not favor men very well. That's what I see. I think it's clearly evident. The online personals, I mean, it's, you know, they had a website called ashleymadison.com, and somebody had cracked the code and broke into it. Now, the premise of ashleymadison.com was that life is too short, just have an affair. So they said, oh, there was just as many women looking to have an affair with a man as a woman, you know? And they found out like 99.98% of the people on that site were all dudes. They found out it was like 0.01. Like, it was like so small. It was like there wasn't even 1% women on there. So it was a complete scam to get guys to think, oh, well, there's all these married women out there. But you can look the scam up. Go on Wikipedia and look up the debacle. It's Ashley Madison break-in or whatever, and you'll see it. They identify it. So someone broke into the site and they went through the registry. There was almost no women on that site. And they said the few women that were on there were just bots, or like just they were taking like profiles of women and just redistributing them. That's it.
Now, I have another question.
Yeah.
I've noticed that men around me, even in real life, I've noticed that men are becoming more aggressive and more hostile towards other people and women. Do you think maybe there's going to come a point where men are just going to reach F it and there's just going to be so many psychotic men trying to harm
they were kind of hoping for that. A lot of the people who are the angry TFLers, they were hoping for that, but I don't know, because we're in 2026. Unless you want to go by what First said. First was saying that he had read an article about a guy that said there was going to be a resurgence of these so-called serial killers. It might happen in the 2030s, though. There might be an anger issue, but I don't know. Listen, we got so much entertainment in the world today. It's very difficult to get people back to. Look, we're talking on a chat right now. We're having a time of our life. It's not equating to a relationship, but it's something to do, you know. And then you got alcohol, you got the drugs, you got the vaping pipes, and you get all this stuff. I mean, they've legalized marijuana in half the states. I mean, I don't know. I think they're doing a good job at keeping men inebriated, you know?
I think also the fact that a lot of men are resorting to pain for it.
Right.
I mean, I don't promote that. I mean, I'm being pretty much forced because I did date in my younger years, but
Right.
as I turned 25,
Okay.
I just haven't had a date in over 5 years. I haven't
Right.
been 5 years.
And this is common. This is common. I get a lot of criticism for this because there was a guy by the name of he doesn't come on here anymore. His name was Kicks Passion, and his attitude was that any guy that's had a woman is should never be in this chat. You're not a TFLer. If you've had one piece of ass or one woman in your life, you're not a TFLer. But I don't agree because you could be married and then your wife leaves you or you get divorced and for whatever reason, and you can go 10, 20 years without a girlfriend. I mean, not by choice either. So I'd say TFL affects even people that have had a woman in their life, you know?
Back to my parents. That's the only way I'm going to be able to get a girl. And I have to go back to Central America and get me one there because
Yeah, Central America is a great place. Beautiful women there, and they don't have the attitudes. And yes, somebody said, oh, Brazil's getting overrun, but I don't think so. If you learn in Central America, there's so many countries you can go to. Just learn a little bit of Spanish, learn it, and you will be surprised. There's a lot of beautiful girls there. And I'm telling you, they want a guy like you.
A lot of people have this conception that, oh, he probably just wants white girls. I've never even liked white girls in my whole life. I've actually only liked Spanish women.
I got to say this, though. I had this thought in my head today. And I was at the gym and I saw, mostly white girls there. And I says, it's impossible for the average guy to get a white woman today. Like white women are going, I hate to use the term, it's a bad term, but delicacy. It's going to be like something like caviar because it's, like I said, with these demographics being so screwed up the way they are, it's going to be very difficult just to get a white woman. Like the guy that's named Raymond Thoughts and Mine, he says, I'm not interested in foreign women. I want a white American woman. Well, I'm sorry, Raymond, but it's not going to happen. It would have happened by now. He's 37 years old. I said, and he's kind of getting onto this, that the options for most men is very limited.
Yeah, no, like I said, because when you're Hispanic or when you're colored, if you're single or if you're a TFLer, they probably think that you just want the white women. But that's not who I am. I've never even tried to get with one of them.
Right.
But the Spanish women have become like white women in America.
Yeah, especially in America, because you have to base this on several factors. If demographics get out of hand, I would say at the top of the pyramid of the dysfunction is the fact that if you have a situation where you're overrun by too many dudes, which is the case in the West, particularly America, and it's dudes, and then you look at the president, what's his name? Who's that dysfunctional leader of Canada, Trudeau? I don't think he's a prime minister anymore. He brought in like 800,000 Pakistani or East Indian men. And the problem with that was he didn't think that demographically this man, if he would have brought in 400,000 of each, maybe they would have paired up and you'd have had a Indian community. He just dumped all these excess men in there. Yeah. And that caused a problem. Anyways, Dead Cat, are you still, show your face real quick? I want to make sure this is you. And I promise not to. Okay, good. I'll let you back in. Okay. Dead Cat wants to say hi or whatever. I don't know what go ahead, Dead Cat.
Oh, are you guys talking about TFL?
Yeah, we're talking TFL. Yeah, he wanted to know a lot about the what causes TFL. I says I think it starts with the demographic ratios. There are just too many dudes. There's no doubt. It doesn't. A woman can move from Cleveland, Ohio, to Omaha, Nebraska, and if she's average to decent looking, probably within a week, she's got a circle of friends. Hey, come out here. Come on. We're going to go out to this place, this club, and within a week, she's already got a dude hitting on her. I mean, as dudes go years. I could work in any venue or go to any place, and it could be years before someone might show a crumb of interest. That's how bad it is. Yeah, like in your case. Yeah, right.
5 years.
5 years, yeah.
5 years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm being forced. I just got my passport. I have to go back.
You got to go back. You got to do that, and you do it for your own good. Just do it and stay out of trouble. Stay away from that. You don't have to go prostitute. Right? Just find a woman. There's plenty of women out there. They want to be with I've seen so many unattractive guys with cute girls, and they're not out there for citizenship. And So I got my little cute little, say hi to Spunky.
Got a cat.
He's great.
He's a cute cat. I love him. He's getting in my. I've had him 13 years now. He's been a real good cat for me. So
the thing for me is that I have cousins there, and one of my cousins is married. So his wife has a sister, and that's be hooked up. That's the plan.
Right.
That's the only way. I think I really truly believe I've seen your videos, even the demographic videos that you have, the demographic issue and what that means. Back, I think you said that men had options to go into war, and
right. Oh yeah. War was a big thing, but what's even more pathetic. Okay, the war was a big factor. I think that true forced loneliness was the normal way of living before, and what happened was they had all these big wars, and then these wars would kill off, like, people don't know how many men died in World War I. It was like millions of men went to, like, across the globe. It died in this war. Like, I think we lost like 400,000 men. No, the Civil War was the worst. It's like 628,000, but I think we lost maybe 400,000. I don't know what the number was. It was huge. And so when people came back from World War I, there was this excess of women, not men, and women were taking their skirts off and they'd flip and doing the flappers and all that other stuff. Man, that was a sexually erotic time back then in the 20s. I don't think you could ever recreate a zeitgeist like that anymore.
So do you think when there's a graphic session, when, like, let's say a bunch of men just disappear, the women become more open into dating anyone? Or
absolutely. I think that this is all predicated by the top issue. Bill says it's all social engineering. I believe first it's demographics, because once you have an excess of something, you take it for granted. You do. It's human nature. I do it. I'll go to the store and they'll have something that's been sitting in the aisle for ages, and I'll ignore it until I don't see it, and then I'm angry I didn't buy it. That's how it is. That's how we are. We don't value what's easy to get.
Right. Now, do you think the fact that women can some women can provide for themselves, do you think maybe they're off?
Oh, that's a huge factor too. It is a factor. The factor is they can provide for themselves. And that was not a good thing for men in marriages, because when you opened up the workforce, you doubled the workforce, which meant there were more men to do the jobs. Obviously waitressing jobs, there were certain jobs that should always be nursing, and waitressing is kind of a women's job. But yeah, I mean, it changed things. I mean, I'm going to say what my friend Mitchell said 12 years ago when I interviewed him. He said, Steve, this TFL problem for men will not end in our lifetime. Now, that's a dismal thought. It won't end in our lifetime, which means what men are going through today is only going to get worse or stay the same. It's not going to get better unless there's some die off of men. There's this special virus that only kills us men off. We'll probably die with the virus, whatever.
Man, that's a brutal pill to swallow, man.
It is a brutal pill. When he told me, he said, Steve, this problem will not end in our lifetime. And it makes sense why it wouldn't. And he explained to me another thing. Mitchell's like about 8-9 years older than me. So he remembers going to college in the 1980s, 1984, 83. He said that his college professor had said to him that you guys had better get your act together, cut your hair short, and gone are the days of wearing long hair. And I remember because there was a book called Dress for Success, and it said in the intro, gone are the days of wearing shabby hair and bell bottoms. Now it's time to get your act together, because that's how competitive the dating, by the early to mid 80s, dating had completely flipped around. You had to be on your best behavior to get a woman. It all makes sense. It really does. That's when that double dipping started, the divorces and all that stuff.
Do you know, Hoka, do you that because I did watch a bunch of your live streams, because I've been watching all your videos, because I was just wondering, like, I'm new to this. I'm new to the whole pills, the black pill and stuff like that. But was that your experience in the 90s? Did you?
Oh, totally. See, this is what people like Incel Maddox don't understand. He says, oh yeah, well, back in the 90s, a bunch of things were great. No, they weren't. They had ladies' night. They did this. I got out of the Army in 94. Before I got out of the Army, I kind of always used to blame. I said, well, this dating scene stinks because you're a GI with short hair or whatever. You got out of the military, and I noticed it before that. I came on leave in 92. I went back on leave in the fall of 92 to come back to Cleveland. And when I came back on leave, I was looking, I was gonna say, I was looking to get some action. And I talked to a few friends of mine. I'm like, dude, like, do you know any women? They said, dude, like, it's pretty dry. I mean, no, I don't know anybody. And like, they were telling me like, it's dry for me. Why would I want to help you? And I remember having that conversation. And then when I got out of the service in '94, it was, I noticed this even before that. I went back to my Army base. And I just like, I got a car, then I'm driving around, and I noticed like it was like ladies' night started popping up everywhere. And there's all these places advertising ladies' night, and it would always be like a sausage fest. Like it would be like ladies' night, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, and then it was always dudes in there. And it was like, and then that was the same thing when I came back to Cleveland, dudes everywhere. And I said, this isn't right. And I can cognizantly remember complaining about it. So this problem was around in the 90s. It just hadn't really manifested itself as hard. The smartphone did not kill dating. Dating was dying a long time before that. Me and Bill were making the True Force Loneliness videos in 07 or 08. And this is before cell phones came out. It was the infancy of like Facebook. And this problem was pre-existing.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, because I do remember with single mothers, you know, I just was with guys from like that area, dating on that area.
Yeah.
My uncle's one of them. He ended up with because he moved to Canada, and because of the options, I guess he ended up.
Yeah. Well, Canada used to be, Nova Scotia used to be a great place to be a single guy. I don't think it's going to fly anymore. They keep bringing in all these male immigrants from India, and I'm sorry, I offend somebody. I do amateur radio, and one time I got on the amateur. I do a ham radio, and this one guy got real offended when I mentioned. I says, "What's it like living in a place where you're bringing in all these, you know, these guys from India?" And he just went ballistic. Like who are you? Like he went into like some sort of defense mode. And I was like, dude, I thought you guys, you're gonna tell me you like this change? I guess he did. But he took offense to it, and then I never talked to him. So some people get very agitated about this issue. But demographically, it makes no sense. If you're going to bring in immigrants, you got to make an even ratio of men to women so that you've got something to you can't just bring in a million men and say, okay, because those men want to get laid. They want to find a woman, and they got to go somewhere. Well, they can't poach their own women because their women are gone. They're over in the old country. And so that's where they got to go. And that's what's happening today. I think it's a demographic imbalance, and that's the problem today.
I think that's one of the reasons that I do think that I'm having a hard time finding a woman, because
it is the only reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it. Don't say, "Oh, I got Asperger's. I'm socially awkward." Don't be so hard on yourself. It's, you know, I tell you one thing I liked about what's his name? Hell of the Dashboard Light. He said, stop blaming yourself for this. And people want to always blame themselves. Say, oh, it's my fault. It's my SB. I'm to this. No, it's not that. It's that there are too many dudes. There are just too many of them.
That's what happened with the Hispanic community. They brought a bunch of Hispanic males, so the ratio between Hispanic women and Hispanic men is so fucking unreal.
Yeah.
All the Spanish women that I know, they're all taken by Spanish men, and there's a bunch of leftover Spanish dudes where I'm at.
Yeah.
So many Spanish dudes that are,
and they're just human beings. You know, here's the thing: I don't hate them because they're Spanish dudes. It's just that it's an oversaturation of too many dudes. They're just trying to make a living doing a job, and now they want a woman, and they're going to poach whatever they can get. You know?
Yeah. So I've seen out of desperation, I've seen some of these dudes take like a crackhead, you know.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors, he's I think he's like Costa Rican, and he ended up wifing up some crackhead, you know, like a real, you know, because out of loneliness.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's getting really bad. Like, guys are settling for women. Like, pretty soon you're going to see guys doing third-degree burn maxing. They're going to be finding. You're going to see guys out there like looking for cripple maxing, and oh, dude, you just gotta look for you just gotta stoop your, you know. And I'm not against the guys that would do that, but maybe that's a good thing because then there's no leftover women. But I think the only good thing about the excess men is that it guarantees that at least the women in this group won't be left over. It does, in other words, women that would have been left over are now taken. That might be a good thing too. It means it's less of a social burden to society.
Yeah.
And you know, if a girl is in a fact, like if she's, let's say she, God forbid, she lost both of her legs, and there's a dude willing to support her and take care of her, then God bless him. I'm glad that burden or we're not going to be stuck with that, you know?
So sometimes I wonder if women would vote for open borders if they brought a bunch of Latina women,
No. That's been talked about. And who is it? Inselmatics or First was saying that he thinks that we ought to have female only immigration, but you can see what that would do. You would have massive amounts of protests, and see, this subject of true forced loneliness is the most taboo subject that you can talk about. You can criticize Israel now. You can openly do it and get away with it. But if you talk about this issue of the true forced loneliness, people get very agitated. They start looking weird, like, you're weird, dude. You're just a weird. Oh, you just don't got it together, dude. Even people that are living.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you've kept in touch with any of the newer guys in the community, like a guy called Clavicula. He's become quite big.
Yeah.
And
Clavicular. Okay, you're shaking your head. What's wrong with him?
Oh no, I just think that guy's garbage.
Oh, really? He doesn't talk about what we're talking about, does he?
No.
He does. He's a black, but he's a good-looking. He's not incel, but he's looks maxer.
He's not living TFL. See, a lot of the black YouTubers, there are black guys.
He's not black. He's a good-looking young white dude.
Okay.
He's a white Chad. He's a white.
He's a white.
Yeah,
Chad.
white Chad.
And he's giving advice like, he's admitting the problem exists, or he's not?
He's just saying he's only not incel because he's so good looking.
Oh,
he was a looks maxer. Okay. He got surgeries. Okay. He became famous.
Right. Well, here's another thing. I think a lot of these manosphere channels that have like 500,000 or 300,000 subscribers, they're all artificially inflated. I think what's happening is there's a blackout budget going on. Okay, you're seeing these hope porn videos where they're saying, oh, women are losing and men are winning. Women are losing, men are winning in this game. Men are horribly losing. They're trying to keep men engaged in society. There's another group of videos they're doing where it'll show these young black girls sitting around an older black lady, and they're all like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I agree with you, ma'am. And like, we know that this is nonsense. It's called hope porn. They give you this false hope so they keep you engaged in society. That's what I think's happening.
And how about Rehab Room? Do you know who Rehab Room is?
Okay, go ahead.
He's pretty good. I do like him.
Easy, you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Particular is also being funded by some billionaire, so
yes,
fake. I forgot his name, but some girl called him out on a live. I know the billionaire that's funding your entire operation here that you got going on.
Yes. And I think that the reason why it isn't that there aren't more people wanting to watch or have watched my channel. It's just that it's not growing at all. It's 2,500 and it stays there. I think there is some algorithm that they program to pull my viewers away because it doesn't go higher. And I noticed that even with what's his name? There's guys that grow like 20,000 viewers in a month. They got 30,000 more. This is not organically happening. I do not believe that I think they're funding this. This is like a blackout budget is what they're doing. Now, why would they do that? Why would they fund this? Because they've got to keep people engaged in society. Well, if my channel were to tell you, hey guys, you don't have a chance to get laid in your life, how would you? They have to keep people believing that women are losing when they're not.
No, Hoka. I'm listening to this guy that I don't know if you know who TFM is.
Yeah, TFM. Yeah, True Freaking Monkey. Yeah,
keeps claiming that we might have some hyperinflation and a depression together. Do you think maybe that might change things? Or
I think what it would change is the guys that know how to survive physically, like guys that know how to build their own little homestead. Yes, it would change that, because then you would have women are going to need a good man. But the problem is those men are going to be gone. They'll already be taken. There's not those men that are capable of surviving at that level. Like, I'm not talking YouTubers, because I don't even know how much I trust these off gritter types. They always got beautiful graphic edit. It's like a 30-man crew editing it's like a Hollywood studio almost. But there are guys that know how to survive. And And I do think that those guys are already taken. They're already married. A lot of these guys, these off-gridder types, already have a wife and like 3 kids. So I don't think that those guys are going to be jumping for those women. No.
Interesting. This is very, very, very interesting. So I did hear first say that if you have some sort of social circle, let's say you have a bunch of friends and even female friends, that maybe it might be easier for you to date. And
yeah, but that's a double-edged sword. Who has social groups? That's like Stephen K. Scott wrote this course called Mentored by a Millionaire, and his idea was you got to find some dude out there who's willing to share his knowledge and bring you into his circle. Well, that's great, but where do you find that dude that will do that for you? And it's the same thing with meeting women. Where is this group of women that will pull you in and say, "Hey, Easy's my friend. I want to introduce you to my friends." There's no woman that's going to pull you in and do that. You're basically invisible. And so, yes, it's
I've
true.
got a
If you
question.
had a social circle. Okay.
Easy. Where are you from? Which country?
America,
He's
but the Northeast. I'm not gonna say what state.
Yeah. Okay. No, you don't.
Oh, but you got an accent there. You're from South America or something.
I'm ethnically Hispanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was wondering.
Somebody left this comment. Scott Galloway is telling men to get drunk and cold approach women. This Scott Galloway is this $40 million. He's this guy with a PhD. And he's giving guys advice like just man, you need to man up and just you got to be they're giving lousy advice to men. There aren't enough women out there. I'm never going to fall into these multimillionaire PhDs that want to give advice. You are never going to move me into their camp. I know what the problem is, and I will not. Yeah, this guy says blind quadriplegic maxing. You'd be surprised. Yeah, there's going to be guys doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen women that you will never think they will have a partner. Like, yeah. I'm talking about the choppest women, like they have a boyfriend, like, so.
Yeah. This guy says here, Johnny Bomb 1 says there's not enough of an incentive for women to even make 40% of the men as desirable. Your grandfather didn't need to be that good. For most of us, it isn't our fault for being TFL. And I agree. Yeah, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're not hideous looking that it should keep you from finding anybody. Most men, good looking men, are invisible to most women. That's how it is today. I mean, that's just how it is.
So many options.
Too many options, right? Yeah.
Too much competition.
Yeah. It's a lot of. Well, I'm not blaming anybody, Patrick. The problem is I'm not bringing racists in here. There is a racial element to TFL, mostly that white guys suffer it more, but black guys are suffering it too. We know they do because we see their channels. It's both. This TFL thing is a major problem, and people aren't talking about it. And they never will. You're allowed, like I said, you can criticize the U.S. government, you can criticize the CIA, you can criticize a certain country in the Middle East, but you can't talk about this issue of true forced loneliness because it's taboo, because it hits hard at what's going on today, there is a drop in the population.
They were talking about it for a little bit. They were calling it the men loneliness epidemic. They were calling it here in the UK.
What they did is they got rid of the incel term and they went over to loneliness epidemic. That sounds like true forced loneliness to me. That's the closest thing. And Bill came up with that term back in 2007. So that term's going on 19 years old. It's a term that he created and he defined it, and it makes a lot of sense.
So Hoka, so to you, right? Do you think this was on purpose? This was done on purpose, or are they just trying to?
What's been done on purpose is the social engineering, yes, because all they had to do is make something less. Once something is less valuable, you can demean it. You can kick it. I mean, it's like something that has. Bill is very certain. I do think that the social engineering can't be stopped. I think it's a result of what would happen if you. We don't know, for example, back when there were less wars going on at some point, there were still men out there probably were treated like crap. We don't know. I think it's all preceded by demographics, but it can also be related to social engineering too.
Because I was listening to Dashboard, and I do remember one of your live streams that you said that he acts like he's been 500 years ago.
Oh yeah, he like his brain is like he'll talk about it like he'll say it's like back in 1972 when you were listening to James Taylor on the radio smoking a cigarette and your female roommate comes up to you and pats you on the show. Like he talks like he lived in that era. Like he does this all the time. Like I'm thinking, Dashboard, did you like inherit the Matrix where they put that shit on your brain and they pumped you up and like, wow, you know, you're an all-encompassing. I knew Benjamin Franklin back in the day. It's hilarious listening to him talk. That's a crazy man right there when you're doing that. I don't.
And the thing about, even though I like a Dashboard, but
yeah,
like, I think he's too. He really believes only white men are suffering when that's just not the truth.
Not true. No, he's very racist too. And the thing that Dashboard has a problem with, and that's why he doesn't show his face, is because he has to hide himself because he's very racially he's very racist, very intelligent guy. He understands the certain group question, the tribal question, but he's not. He seems like he's so transfixed. Like his number one thing I hear him say is black men seem to all be doing very well in the dating game. That's not true. It's complete bunk. They're struggling in the dating game.
But he thinks these students that teachers having affairs with are non-white, but they showed the picture in the news story. They showed the blurred picture of the student. It was a white guy. It was a white Chad.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Clavicular is a white Chad. Andrew Tate is kind of mixed race.
Yeah.
I think the Dashboard, the issue with him is that I think seeing white, like very average white women with like some top tier black guy, I think that makes him feel some type of way, which is normal, you know. I mean, race. Me personally, I think racism is normal.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that, well, you have to kind of be, you have to be honest about it. If you were living in a time where you had to fight for your tribe, you better learn to be racist. You got no choice. It's survival. At that point, it becomes survival. And at that, if everybody's poaching your women and you were in a warlike situation, you'd have to put the brakes down and say, no, enough is enough. And that would mean that, unfortunately, for the women's, they would have to be told, no, you can't be doing that, you know?
Because I feel the same way when I feel the same way when I see a Spanish woman with some other race. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm over here lonely and shit. You could be with me, and you decided to go with a different demographic, and so I understand where Dashboard is coming from when he's, you know, talking about race and stuff like that. But I mean, like you said, it's over. You know, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not something we can control, unfortunately, you know.
No, it's not. It's not. There's nothing we can do about it. Like I said, it's a situation. But anybody else want to come in here? I'd love to hear your 2 cents.
Hey Steve, what have you got planned for the year, man? Any plans?
Oh, I have
holidays.
Nice. I have a lot of good plans. I'm in an optimistic view. I mean, I'm going to be traveling the country. I'm going to be taking a lot more vacations. I have a bunch of airline rewards, and I'm going to be flying. There's a lot of different cities I want to see, because I'm looking to move to possibly, because I do air conditioning and heating and all that. I'm looking to move to different areas. So
are you going to look for the Shang?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. But I think you can find it in there. But you can find it in America still. Here's what I told a guy about the dating thing. Because you
still hope to find a woman.
Well, there's women. Why do I still see 60-year-old guys with 32-year-old girlfriends all the time? What? And they're not millionaires.
No way.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the boating marina and there's some guy there, and yes, it's probably some boomer with a big pension, but there are guys out there that.
So you think you can get that? That's amazing. If you did that, that would be amazing.
What it is I think what's going to happen in the years. Well, it would be amazing. I'd have to advertise it on here too. But no,
amazing,
I think the guys can still find women here. But here's what I told. Okay, I went to when I was driving a service van for this one company, I would go into Pennsylvania a lot. And I hit a lot of rural areas because I was going through and I'd stop off. And you'd be surprised at how the personality is so different, say, from Cleveland to rural Pennsylvania. There's a big difference in the culture. So sometimes what you need to do is get out of your comfort zone, which is, in my place, Cleveland, Ohio, which is a rust belt. And sometimes you have to be willing to move 500 miles away. I mean, that's
gotta go to the Shang, man.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Right? I'm gonna go back
Head to the Shang.
You got to go now.
But it was not speaking to you.
Okay, nice speaking to you too. Thank you.
Oh, nice speaking to you.
Okay, good. Yeah, he was a nice guy. I had a good time talking to him. No, I'm saying the Shang is a doable thing. I'm not saying I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's not an issue with me, but you know what I really enjoy? I enjoy talking about this subject because I know people appreciate it. People do like to have a discussion about these. This is basically a current event. This is a current event. It's as current as you can get.
I've kind of given up, man, and I'm kind of 10 years younger than you, I think.
Yeah, you're 45.
I've kind of given up, man.
But you know what? Like I said before, there's always some guy that's making it happen. I think that it's either all or nothing. I don't think it's even age. I think it's just women as a general rule. Even if you were 25, you better have a social group or you're just not in, because you got limited amount of time. Like when I see these guys at the gym and they're with a girl, it's generally a girl they've known since like junior high school or something. That's what I think is happening. So
yeah,
I guess
I don't really have a proper job. I just do volunteer work and I get money from the government. So I don't really have anything to attract a woman with, Yeah. So I'm just not winning on any front.
This guy says, how often do you see young Anglo with a much older man? Well, quite a bit if you live in a small town. That's another thing. Like here in America, we have like a lot of these ethnic divides where you'll have these people that live in more rural areas. They're usually of Scotch, Irish, German descent. That's kind of the normal nationality here. And if they live in a rural area, they're more apt to pair up with people at an early age. And that's why, like, when you meet these guys, they're always like, my wife and kids. Well, you could talk to 100 random ones and they're like, my wife and kids, my wife and kids. It's because they're in a town where they can find that, Dating life in the city is the worst place. People would say, oh, move to the big city, you'll find it. No, the city is the worst place to be. Master Yoda says an increasing percentage of men are giving up on dating, and can you blame them? They're all are suffering from rejection fatigue. Yeah, good point. I'm about to jet out of here in a few. Been on here a little over an hour. Oh, no, not quite an hour. This is a good chat. I got a couple good people in here. But people don't like hearing the demographic thing, and I'm sorry, but I believe it's demographics. And I thought I was going to be able to get Hell by the Dashboard Light in here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
He was listening.
He was, okay. He was
adding some commentary, but
okay.
He's just his own, so he won't change his opinions. He's
well, I don't expect him. If he wanted to come in here, that's great. And I'll be very nice to him. I won't. Yeah, this guy agrees. He says demographics is a problem for sure. Yeah. I gave the link here, but that's okay. There's a lot of people, women. Yeah, I hear this too a lot. Women go after the top 10 to 5%. It's going to be more like 99-1 or 199. That it's literally going to be 1% of the men get 99% of the, the 80-20 rule. It's going to be like the people say, oh, it's really 90-10. 90% of the women going with 10% of the guys. Vention died a millionaire and then gave some of his money to Hammerhand. That's the rumor. I'll tell you, Vention, yeah, that was sad. He had all that money, and yeah, it happens. It hit him hard. I'm glad people acknowledge. I think that Census Bureau is lying about the numbers. Anyways, I enjoy doing this. Anybody else want to come in here? Let me know.
So,
I think it's kind of, it went up to like, well, 72 right now in here. I've never hit 100 people in the chat. That would be kind of cool to, yeah, I'm trying to be a good man.
so you must have been like dating and stuff because you seem like you're doing
Yeah,
okay.
I've had girlfriends. It's not like I haven't had, but I see the problem with happening is because dry spells go for years. They don't, anybody that says they're TFL, they got a dry spell for 2 months. That's not TFL. Go 5-10 years and not have a woman even want to touch you. And that's TFL to me. You know,
But I would have thought you had some dates last year.
well, not. I did have one girl that was interested in me. She actually was from Pennsylvania. We were supposed to meet, and you know, it kind of was weird. Oh, he wants to come in. MGTOW Cowboy wants to come in here. Yeah, I had one girl interested in me. I kind of blew that one. She did want me, but I would have had to go to her. She was about 180 miles from my residence, and I was gonna go see her, but then I said, nah. You know, I guess it was the ball was in my court there, but she was not bad looking. I guess she was okay. But another thing I want to dispel is this is something that what's his name always talks about all the time, and he acts like every woman is tainted. Like that Western decline absolutely drives me nuts. He's wrong. There are women in certain areas that are not like a lot of women. It depends where they live. If they live in a part way off the beaten path, no, I don't think so.
Oh, I like Western Decline. I think he's pretty smart. I do like his opinions.
Yeah, I think Western Decline's pretty good, but the problem with him is he's so cynical. Like I don't know.
But I couldn't blame him.
He's extremely cynical. Like I understand the cynicism. Maybe that's what makes him so great on his
He
channel.
had a terrible mother. I relate to him because his mother sounds similar to my mother. They're not very nice. Kind of a smothering negative influence.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. I think his mother, he did have a horrible childhood, and that doesn't help. TFL is definitely it doesn't help when you have shitty parents and you're living TFL because TFL is just compounded.
Yeah, that's more important than like looks and stuff.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can have first is a good relationship with your relatives because when all else fails, you got family. A lot of TFL people, though, are happy because they have good parents. If you have really good parents, you don't really live TFL much. You're kind of like, you know, yeah, it's a cruel world out there, but I still got my parents, you know. Master Yoda says, I had better sex than most married people, albeit paid for. The mature age ladies of the night I give the best. Well, this guy is a major. You, Master Yoda. You could write. You're an Italian guy living in Australia. He's the guy that could write the book on call girls. This guy's funny.
I like Master Yoda. He's an OG.
Really, I don't know if he's coming in. I don't think that's okay. I don't Master Yoda is a real popular in here. Oh, Dagger, where are they streaming? Why doesn't somebody drop me the link so I can see where are they streaming?
Who is Daggers?
Yeah, Daggers at H. How about this? Like, where is he streaming? I looked. I did a search and
you got to search.
Who is it?
Hell by the Dashboard Light. Just Hell by the Dashboard Light. Just search it.
Okay, well, I'll have to do that then. I'll have to do a search on that. But I'm about to leave here because I've been on here and pretty much I've tapped out on everything I want to say right now. And I could rename this. Well, I call this just a random rant. February 27, 2026. And yeah, I'm real happy that we had this talk. This was a good chat today. Really worked out good. I had some good. I had you in here, and I had the other guy. Device not connected. Somebody. Oh, MGTOW Cowboy.
But one thing I'll say, Steve, is I'm not sure I agree that it's such a taboo subject because it is getting more bigger and mainstream. I think the subject, but it's being, like you said before, it's being used. Other terms
being redirected. It's not identifying the problem. Okay, you get a guy like and I'll debate this guy any day of the week. Is Mr. $40 million net worth Scott Galloway? Oh, men need to step it up. Men are really struggling in this dating scene. You know, men maybe need to get to the gym and they need to just work a little bit harder. They're just not working good enough. My name is Scott Galloway, and I'm so calm in my demeanor. You know, he's he's sending people down a rabbit hole that's so like they are not going to solve this by listening to his advice because this problem is not solvable. Demographics have screwed it up. You got too many excess men because of immigration patterns and double, triple dipping. You have Chads and all kinds of weird things going on, you know?
That's true.
MGTOW Cowboy, wave to me, please, before I let you in. I got to see this as you. I can't let I don't want to ruin this stream because if I see anybody come in this stream that if you wave to the camera and just smile, I will not put your face on there. No, that's not good enough. I need to see what.
Howdy, Steve. Shall I tell you what we did for New Year's?
MGTOW Cowboy, come on, get in there. Get in there. I want to see what you're. Just do a quick smile.
Steve, do you know what?
All right, I'll add you to the stage, and if you ruin this,
Oh, okay.
all right, stop. All right, I got you, Big Cowboy. You can turn off the camera now. Okay, all I saw was you waving, so it's good. Are you there, Big Cow?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, good. I didn't see your face. It's good. I saw you waving, and you got on the screen there. Okay, go ahead. So, what did you want to add, real quick, MGTOW Cowboy?
I mean, so many good things. Well, first off, of course, like usual, I want to say thank you. Thank you for letting me on.
Yeah.
I share this passion with you. I think that this is a serious problem. I think that it's affecting literally millions and millions of men in our country alone.
Yeah.
And yes, unfortunately, I think it's getting worse as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to answer this guy's question. He says, "Why do you want to know their identity?" I've had too many people drop their scrode in the camera a couple times, and I don't want to see some dude scrode in here when I want to get a serious person. You follow me? Okay. I've just answered your question. That's it. Okay. So yeah, MGTOW is cope. I think it is too. I think cope is cope.
Right.
Cope is cope. Blaming people for cope is cope because I think sometimes,
there you go.
like, but what I was going to say too is, MGTOW Cowboy. I know we kind of repeat a lot of the same things, but what was neat is I had some other people to kind of get their opinions. It's nice to kind of get a flavor of what people are going through, you know.
Well, let me start by asking you: Can you guys hear me well? Is my audio coming in well or no?
Yeah, it's crystal.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I added or I put a windsock over my phone. I think that might help. I don't know, but anyway, I was listening for the last 15 minutes. What you guys were talking about. I feel bad or I feel sad that there was a gentleman that just left the chat 5 minutes ago. I especially like connecting with young men. I understand this other gentleman. I think how old are you, sir? Your 40s?
I'm 55, but Dead Cat's he's 45, I think. He's 45.
A little bit younger than about
Right,
a
okay,
few
right.
years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right. No, I was trying to address what's his name? Dead Cat.
Dead Cat, yeah.
Oh, Ice Cat,
Dead
yeah.
Cat. Okay, yeah.
Ice
Okay,
Cat,
so
His
the
name-
three of us are old guys. We're already old guys already. I'm 42.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I feel it.
I'm
Well,
I'm
we're
your
not
age.
young anymore, but I'm young in spirit. I don't feel really old because I exercise, but you're right. We are older. We are not young.
You're very impressive,
I feel the same
Steve.
way.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I literally just came from the gym. I was leaving the gym,
That's good.
and I saw Hoka was going live. I said, "Oh my goodness, I want to jump on." And I saw Hoka was talking to a young man, looked like a guy probably in his 20s or late 20s.
Yeah, he's like 25 or 27 or something. Yeah.
Sure. Now, of course,
He's a nice guy. His volume was a little bit lower, but yeah, he's a good guy. It was nice to have him on there, and it's nice to get new faces on here. And he put his face out. That was kind of cool that he actually. I wasn't talking to like just some icon. I got to see what he looked like. It was kind of cool. So really nice.
What I would say to that is I actually respectfully disagree with you, Hoka. I don't advise men put their
Oh,
I
no, I'm
advise.
not saying they should. I'm not saying they should. Some people, it's privacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are okay with it. What I tell men is, as a general rule, if you're espousing MGTOW or red pill or black pill type ideas, as a general rule, you don't want to show your face because, frankly, it's a great way to become persona non grata if people
It
recognize
can
you.
be, but it also opens up opportunities to do interviews with people. They'll take you seriously. If Dr. Phil wants to interview me, I will work. I will, plan it out. I would go on his show and tell him exactly what is happening. And I think I could look him right in the eye. I could, if Scott Galloway was on that show, I would just argue with him. I'd tell him. But no, it would open up opportunities, I think.
Well, you bring up Scott Galloway and you bring up Dr. Phil.
Mhm.
Frankly, or to speak in the manner of the Franks and the Gauls, I actually believe that both of those men, they know what's going on. They're
Mhm.
privy to what we are talking about right now, but they don't
Absolutely,
care.
absolutely. They know the deal. They know the game is up for men. They're trying to. This is why we have all this hope porn on the internet, which is basically hope porn. Is my definition is, it's when you create content to make people more engaged in society by saying, oh, there's these young black girls that are worshiping older black women and saying yes ma'am, yes ma'am, and some old black man giving advice to young black men like, yeah dude, I got it going. Like they're trying to engage people and say, oh my god, we can go back to the morals, and women are losing and men are winning, and it's designed to keep you engaged. And reality is that things are not
Yes.
looking good.
Yes. Okay. So what I would say to that is I would say I basically agree with you
Yeah.
100%, 110%. I'm reminded of I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the corporation. There's a corporation that owns like almost all of the dating apps. I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys have you heard of like Tinder and
Yeah.
Bumble, Grinder, OkCupid. They're all owned by the same corporation.
Yeah.
And
In fact, yeah, they even own the Christian. Most of your Christian dating sites are owned by non-Christian corporate.
ha,
Yeah, they are. They
yeah,
said it. They're
and
not.
they say
Yeah, they say it
and,
right in
and
their
they
in
did
their disclaimer. We are not run by Christians, or we're not a Christian organization.
and they admit in their own by their own admission they admit the vast majority. I can't
Yeah.
remember which CEO. I think it was a CEO of OkCupid. It doesn't matter. He said something very revealing,
What's
and
that?
this speaks to what you just said. You just made a statement, Hoka, saying they want to keep you engaged. They want to
Yes,
keep
that's
men
it.
engaged.
What better thing to
Absolutely.
do? Yeah. So what you would do if you wanted to keep men engaged in the dating scene and believe there's hope, you would create a guy, a big fat white guy, a big sloppy white guy who has a marketing background, who looks blue collar. His name is Men Need to Be Heard. And you'd let this big fat sloppy white guy with his goatee sit there and try to hide his wife's recliner while he's doing his video talking about how men are losing or women are losing and women are crying and men are winning, and there's no loneliness epidemic. Men are all winning, when we clearly know this is bunk. It's hope porn. It's
Okay.
nonsense. I'd like to call this guy. I know he's a marketing guy. He's never physically worked a day in his life. He's just a marketing guy. Yeah.
Okay. So to finish my point, what I was going to say is this. I'm sorry. I can't remember what the name of the
Yeah.
CEO, but the
Right.
CEO. I think it was OkCupid
Mm-hmm.
admitted
Yeah.
somewhere between 75 and 85%. On average, it's about 80%. 80% of all the traffic on OkCupid are men. So you
Yeah, and
basically
I think it could even be higher, but let's say 80%. That's a lot of big difference. I
well,
mean, it's only
that's
20% of
according
women. Yeah.
that's according to them. That's them
Okay,
admitting
and okay,
something.
so if it's 75 to 80% of men's traffic, probably the only 20% of women they're getting are the women looking for the top tier guys. So it's
Right,
like,
right, right.
so you're
Okay, so
dealing with
let's
the
analyze
probably
that.
even a lower percentage.
Okay, right. Okay, so to analyze that for a second, so let's just say it's 75%. Okay, and
Right.
again, this is according to their own numbers. This is what they're willing to admit. This is how bad even they are willing to admit it is.
Yeah.
You have essentially three men chasing one woman on these sites.
Right.
But think about it. These companies, they don't want men to leave. If men knew this, men would say that the odds are impossible. This is not worth the effort that I'm putting in. I'm out of here. No, they don't want that. They want the men to stay.
They want them to stay. But here's something else that I always give credit where credit's due. I don't want to take somebody else's steal someone's thunder. What's his name? Inselmatic said this in one of his streams. He'd probably deny it now, but he said that the problem with these hope porn, he didn't define it as hope porn. He says they're trying to engage men in such a way that they're saying, oh, men are getting tired of the dating. So he goes, more men are going to drop. They're going to, while men drop out of the dating game, there's always the hope, maybe I'll get lucky and drop back in. So you always have this influx of people that are, yes, you got a lot of guys dropping out of the dating game, but you got more guys dropping back in because of this hope porn. So it's a never ending cycle. It's really vicious. So they're playing us like suckers. I'm not buying it because I'm not out there subscribing to these stupid websites,
Yes, they're playing us like suckers. Yes. Yeah. I contend, okay, my idea is that if the average man knew just how bad, I'm sorry.
I didn't say
someone say something?
No, I don't know if it's coming from a dead cat or somebody's got background noise.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
It shouldn't be me.
Oh, okay.
Hey, dead cat, I'm gonna beat you, bucko. I'm gonna boot you, bucko. Bucko. No, I won't boot you. Go ahead.
Should be better now.
All right, go ahead,
Dead cat. Hey, Dead Cat, if I may ask you, what's your situation? Where are you from? Are you British?
Yeah, British. Very late here, but I'm staying up late.
Okay. What part of Britain do you hail from? Are you from like the north, like Manchester?
Oh no, London is the worst part. The worst part of Britain for so many TFL men here. Incel capital of the world.
Are you from like the East End or what's going on?
West London. I live in.
West London. Okay. Are you white? Are you Mexican? Are you Arab?
I'm mixed, white and Asian.
White and Asian. When you say Asian, you mean like Indian?
Yeah, East Asian. Yeah.
East Asian. Okay. I'm sorry. Here in the U.S., we use different terms. When people in America say Asian, they usually mean like East Asian, like Korean, Chinese, Japanese. But I think you Brits, when you say Asian, you mean like subcontinent, like India.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. It can be both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's generally, yeah.
So now that we're on the subject, 15 minutes ago, I was listening to Hoka. Hoka made a statement, and I believe that he was actually incorrect factually. He made a statement saying in the United States, the majority of TFLers are white. My understanding is that is not true. In fact, I remember I wouldn't agree with video. I remember I was listening to a video by Donovan Warland, and he was citing a study that says that actually the majority of TFLers are minorities, are non-white men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd probably say that's what that dashboard thinks. They're all white as well, but I would say, yeah, probably not. Probably more the non-whites are less successul. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, let me just say this. I just wanted to say about what I said was no, I believe black men are heavily represented in TFL. It's unbelievable how many there are. It's very few black men are doing well in mating. It's a race to the bottom for them, in fact.
That according to this video that I watched. This is an old video. This is already like a year old. Donovan Warland, he's got a good channel. He's a MGTOW. He was talking about this exact subject. He was basically saying a study came out and the liberals, they don't like it because what it shows is the majority, more than half of all the TFLers are actually recent immigrants, like Asians. If for example, in Britain, it would be Asians, or in this country, the Hispanics or like East Asians. So, but yes, obviously this is starting to affect the white community here in the U.S. and I'm sure in Britain as well.
Well, when you say starting to affect, no, it's been affecting white community. But what I'm trying to get at is I believe that TFL, True Force Loneliness, this epidemic is across the board with all races. But you're right, immigrant men
it's affecting
a lot of people.
So do I. I also believe that exactly what you just said. It's like a growing problem. For example,
Yeah.
I remember learning 100 years ago,
Hmm.
some huge percentage. I think it was almost 90%. 100 years ago, 90% of Americans agree. Okay, but what you notice is this huge trend. It's slow, but it's huge. It's like a glacier, moving through the ocean. It's ginormous. People have been getting married later and later, and people have been getting married less and less.
Mm.
Um, 90% were married, 100 years ago by the age of, 22 or 23.
Yeah.
Now it's the exact opposite. No one's getting married. And
Yeah,
the
it
average
is,
age of marriage
and
has climbed
nobody's
up to almost
addressing
30.
it. But the reason why I think the elites are not addressing this now, Bill Greathouse's theory is it's all about population control. I do
That's what I
think
think.
that falls into it, but I don't think they could change this problem right now if they wanted to. They would have to say, "Hey, we got a demographic problem." There's no way to undo this demographic problem of there being too many dudes to women. They did this for
Well, yes,
economic
there
reasons.
is.
They brought all
Yes,
these
yes,
immigrants in here to do all the labor. They brought the H-1B1 visas, mostly men. The boomers, hey, I want to get my share. You're a loser. You can't get women your own age. It's not my problem. And they dipped and dipped and dipped. And when you combine all these problems together, this is what you get. This is
well,
what you get.
unfortunately, I think that this has been planned. Yes, there are.
Oh, you
Yes, it's
do,
an
yeah,
interplay.
yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. So you think it's planned? You think that they do want this?
Well, I
Yeah,
think that there's an interplay. I mean, yes, there
yeah.
there is female nature and male nature. At the
Hmm.
same time, why
Yeah.
why why are we being flooded with immigrants? And again,
Right.
most of them
Why
are
are you
men.
doing something that is counter? Because I can tell you one thing I look at politicians don't really care. They're very self centered people. Like
Right.
Nancy Pelosi's got 5 kids. Her kids are probably all doing well because they share the money. And so most
Yeah.
wealthy people don't think that, my God, who's going to fix my air conditioner? Because there'll always be people that can do these jobs. But the point is that they're just very short-sighted people. They don't really care. It's all about me, get me elected. And I got
Right.
kids. It sounds to me like you got the problem. I got kids. I got a wife and kids. So it's the same problem. And I've talked about how a lot of these people that like you meet that like live in more rural areas, they don't live TFL like we do, like city people do. And so they're always like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. My kids, I got grandbabies on the way. It don't seem to me that anybody's having a problem. But these people are going to be buried when they realize that it might be too late. The population's going to go down,
Okay. What I would say to that is, I'm reminded of this is why I think that it's planned. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll just give you one example. There's many
Yep.
examples. I'm
I can't wait
reminded
to
this is
hear.
already an old story. This is already an old story from
Is it?
like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember the story out of Sweden where some feminist group petitioned the government specifically to limit the amount of women from one particular country to emigrate from their country, their home country, to Sweden?
Oh,
You guys remember
wow. I
what
didn't
country
know
that
that.
was? Do you
No,
guys
what
remember what
country?
country that was? It was Thailand. So
Oh,
when you listen to the feminists, they generally say we're okay with immigration. But then a problem arose. So many Swedish men were choosing non-Swedish white women, and they
mhm,
were going over to Thailand, and they were meeting these young, beautiful women, bringing them back to Sweden. The
mhm.
feminist women took note of this or took notice of this, and then they petitioned the government and they said, "Hey, we don't want all these foreign women coming into Sweden.
Yeah.
Why would feminist women have a
Because it,
problem?
it, it upsets the apple cart for sure. It upsets their apple cart. They
Because
don't
it
have the
takes away the women's the Swedish women in Sweden. It takes away their leverage, their privilege. If
right.
if you don't have to deal with these uppity Swedish women, and you could just go get a young hot Thai girl, why
Hmm.
not just do that? Well, the
Right,
women,
and
because
that
the women
and
in
that
Sweden.
Thai girl, that if you bring her to Sweden, she'll probably stay married to you. That's another thing.
Yes.
They say that these Asian women divorce their husbands. Most of them stay married to these guys, and a lot of these guys are real abusive assholes. I've seen this where these guys will have like a Chinese girlfriend, or something, and believe it or not, these women will actually stay with these losers. I mean, living here in America, it's surprising. So yeah, I can see why these women would not want to compete with this, because once it really upsets their own apple cart for sure.
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's exactly what the feminists said
Mhm.
in their petition. They basically said, "Hey, these poor," and they always do this. They always use this. They always use this tack, or they always come from this angle. They said,
Mhm.
these poor Asian women, these poor Thai women, they're
They're being
being
abused.
abused. They're being
Yeah,
abused. That's why we got to pass a law taking away more of men's rights.
yeah.
But what they found through the studies is that, now wait a minute, that's not true, because these Asian women, number one, when they're interviewed, when surveyed, they claim that they're actually happier being in Sweden than back in Thailand. Number one. Number two, divorce rates were much lower on average between a Swedish man and a Thai woman than a Swedish man and a Swedish woman.
Yeah,
So that goes against.
I'd almost hate to say this. This guy told me one time, he said, if you marry like a Filipino and bring her here, you almost have to beat them off with the stick to get them away from you. They're once they make up their mind, they like you. You have to worry about that. But yeah, you're right. That's a threat to the establishment. And that's why, like in Sweden, or I imagine in America and Canada, it'll be the same way if guys get tired of this. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a tough life for most of these men today.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, I think most men, the average man, I've said this before. I'll say it again. Unfortunately, I think the average man in America, and for that matter in Britain, they're going to lose. They're not going to get what they want. I
They're losing already. They're not gonna anything.
Right,
They're already losing.
right. We're already losing. Right. So
Yeah.
what I tell men, number one, figure out who you are and what you want. Number one. Number two, properly map the social landscape, which is what we're talking about right now. Basically,
Mhm.
figure out the lay of the land, figure out how
Yeah.
things really are. And then number three, go through a catharsis, basically change who you are
Right.
and start moving differently. I tell men to become much more sophisticated in their dealings with both the government and with women, and for that matter, corporations. In
I
fact, for
think
that
that,
matter, I
well,
think
it
that,
starts with taking care of yourself. Like, don't get in credit
yes,
card debt. You got to tell these corporations to go F themselves. Pardon my language. But you have to tell these people to go hell. Hey, would you like to get another loan? Like to refinance your house and get some cash? Would you like to do this? No. You got to get out of that stuff, because that is a trap. And trust me, the hetero married people, they're in that trap. So maybe envying them is something you don't need to do. Because if you were married to one of these women that was like a blue pillar, she would be spending all your money anyways.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry if I could share a very quick anecdote. This just happened earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was essentially burned out of like for almost $40.
Yeah.
So there's a lady that I have relations with, and today her daughter called me up, or not called me, she texted me, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's hang out."
Mm-hmm.
Automatically, I know she just wants money or free food.
Mm-hmm.
So I text her back. Oh, okay, what's going on? Okay, what do you want? Oh, and she right away she not recognizes recommends a local restaurant. It's
Mm-hmm.
called The Great Escape. It's a really nice restaurant here in Chicago. It's actually the
Right.
oldest. It's actually the oldest bar in Chicago. Um, anyway, so I pick her up and we shared a slab of ribs. You know,
Mhm.
but she has no intention. She doesn't do anything for me. She doesn't
Yeah.
give me sex. She
Oh,
doesn't
she's
clean my
not giving you
apartment.
anything?
She's not. She no, no. Now she has offered to have a child for me. Um,
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, to
and
me, and I know this is going to sound crazy, she's willing to have your kid. That's a big plus, though, because it means that your
yes,
child is worth something. Because if most women that don't want to be around you, they won't even have your freaking kid. Yeah.
okay, Okay.
You're seen as desirable to some level to her, which
She's
is
not. She's not 19 anymore. She's 20. She just turned 20. The
good.
way I see it is. What's that? I'm
But
sorry.
how? Wait. You're date what? Who's 20? The girl that wants to have a kid with you?
The girl I just had dinner. Yes.
Okay, you've never been intimate with her, right?
No, not yet, not yet.
Okay,
And I may,
so
I
she's willing
may
to have a
never.
kid with you, meaning that she might be after your resources.
Well, of course she's after my resources. What is this not? Is this not a red pill MGTOW
Yeah, well,
chat meetup? Come
but
on.
let me ask you a question. Does she sense that you have anything in the bank and savings?
Well, yes, she knows I do, and I guess I
Oh,
do,
she knows you do. Okay, which is a big no-brainer. You never brag about how much money you got because that will affect them. Yes, and you will get these types of women that do that. Yeah, and then you will be locked for the next 18 to 21 years paying child support.
Well, now hold on. It depends on how you do it. For example, here in the United States, if let's say this girl and I were to do it the old-fashioned way, I'll leave you to figure out what that means. Then yes, all sorts of rights are gained. She gains a ton of rights over me, and yes, she can sue me for child support. Now, if you do it the advanced way, then one of the newest ways, something called IVF or in vitro fertilization, she does not. And of course, I'd have to go through like an agency or get a lawyer,
Yeah.
but this is done all the time. In fact, my
Well,
baby
yes,
sister.
but yeah, and you're right. So you're saying that you would like to get the legal means by which to do it, and then hopefully the law doesn't change and force you to pay child support. But she's not. Wait, come on, she's not looking for that. You know what the issue is? Just she wants to have your kid because you have the means of supporting that kid. Otherwise, she would go just to a sperm bank.
Okay. What I'm saying is, I would like to wait at least 4 years, probably ideally 6 or 7 years to have a child, because I
But
think that it
she's
would be worth
20,
it.
dude. You're like this
Right.
girl's 20. How are you
Right.
even how did you manage to get a 20-year-old girl to go out with you? How?
Oh,
Just
no.
tell.
Like I said, she is the daughter of another woman that I do have relations with.
She's the
So,
mom. Okay, so she's the daughter of a woman you have relations with.
okay,
So you're not
okay,
doing that bad. You got a woman in your life.
okay. So there's a woman that I have had carnal knowledge. There's a woman that I have been intimate with now for going on like 11 or 12 years.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
not married. I'm a MGTOW. I'm a MGTOW guy. I'm not married to her. She doesn't live with me.
Okay.
And yes, you could really just think of it as like she's a single mommy who needs money. I'm here to help her out. She needs this. I need that. And that's how
Oh
we
my
do both
God! I
ways.
just hit 100, guys. Holy cow! A
No, I'm
hundred
telling
people.
you, Hoka, your channel lately you've been doing a lot of good work lately.
Oh yeah, for sure. I had just hit 100 in the chat. I just eclipsed a record. I've never had this in my entire life, and I will take a
Why
picture of it.
why can't you get that guy? What's his name? Held by the Dashboard Light. Why can't you get him on? He's good.
106 in the chat, dude. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's great. That's great, and I really like your channel. Yeah, no, it's all man, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
My
Holy cow! I never
my
hit 106. Holy cow, dude! I'm rocking the house, man. Holy cow! I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, hey,
No,
let me
this
put it
is
to you this
awesome
way.
because this tells me my efforts are now worth it. I never thought I'd eclipse 105, dude. You know what happened?
Well,
I think the people over at the chat over at Dashboards chat got pulled over here. Oh, 107. Yep, that's awesome.
well, I'll put it to you. I'll say it this way. I think you're doing something right. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, I think so too. There's no doubt. I don't think there's any
Mm.
electronic interference tonight. 107 in the chat. It's 227.26. Good job. Wow.
Well, I think
Awesome.
the reason why there was problems last time, I think this gentleman, I can't remember his name, Excess
Yeah.
Mail. I think Excess Mail was having a problem where he was he wasn't using his phone. He was using his computer, and there was like some
Mhm.
reverb or something. If you remember, it was a little weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I should have muted him. Yeah, but he knows better now. He already corrected that. He said he's going to correct it
It's
the
okay.
next time he does that.
It's okay.
Yep,
It was still a good.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was still a good stream, and I thank you again, for
Oh,
offering the
it
platform.
was an outstanding stream. In fact, a few people complained about the reverb. They were willing to listen to the whole chat without that. That thing got a lot of people in that chat.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, I have never monetized my channel. I have never accepted
Yeah,
donations.
I'm not going to monetize it. I don't need commercial
Right.
breaks. I just rather talk. I don't mind talking. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing, that's all I need right now.
Yeah,
that's
well,
all I need.
there is the ego aspect where I'm sure you appreciate.
There is. I thought about. I don't think donations are what I want. I just want to enjoy myself on these things.
Yes, but also I want to mention this is somewhat altruistic of you. Think about it. You could monetize your channel, but you're willing to just take the secondary prize, which is a pat on the head or stroking your ego. But ultimately, you do it to disseminate. You do it to disseminate the knowledge to the younger guy. You do it to help men. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steve.
Disseminate it to young men because they need to hear a 55. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to hear what we did for New Year's Eve?
You're coming loud. Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you want to know what we did for New Year's Eve?
Here.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. What did you do for New Year's Eve?
Dude, you're cutting in and out. I'm going to have to mute. Okay, Cowboy, do you hear him?
He was cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to bring him back in, but he's like, if he's going to cut out, I don't know if somebody's harassing him or what. Hold on. Okay, Dead Cat.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I had to mute your mic.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you New Year's Eve. Can you hear?
Your microphone is just cutting in and out. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know what's happening on your end. It seems like
we were just talking on Dashboard's Discord. We just like a bunch of guys just talking over Discord. I mean, that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like no one really went out anywhere.
Well, that's what
I kind of went out for a little bit.
Okay. Okay. I might go out. If you can give me the link to that Discord, put it into the drop thing, and I can listen to the Discord.
I got kicked out. I'm no longer in that Discord. I got kicked out of that Discord.
Well,
I got kicked out talking to you.
Okay, I'm going to hear MGTOW talk real quick. MGTOW, go ahead. I have to mute him. He comes in so loud is the problem. He comes in so freaking loud. Go ahead, MGTOW.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If not that I'm some sort of tech savvy individual, because I'm not, but I would recommend this gentleman. Who's this other gentleman who's in the chat with us?
His name is Dead Cat, but it's coming. I just wanted to kick him out for a few minutes. He'll come. He can come back in afterwards.
Dead Cat, if you can hear me, what I would recommend to you is I'd actually recommend that you leave the stream, shut your phone off, restart it, and then jump back in. From my experience. And I have StreamYard. I've hosted many StreamYard live streams, and we're on StreamYard right now. I recommend that you do that. From my experience, I have found that has typically cleared up any connectivity problems. So
okay, I got this other guy that wants to come in. It's this BRW. I don't know who this is. Come on, wave to the camera before I let you in here. I got to see who you are. I don't know. This is somebody's going to ruin my stream. This stream is going really good right now. Nobody's thrown any porn in my stream, so it's been working good. Okay, I don't know who this guy is. I'm going to, hey, Bucko, I'm going to boot you.
Properly vet him if you can.
I can't vet. See, I don't think. Well, see. You know what I hate about this thing? Well, you can look. It'll say authentic PRW. I don't know who this guy is, and I don't really know. I've never seen him before. All I can do is just that right now. Okay, good. Well, anyways, I'm booting him out right now.
Ultimately, just do.
Hey, I like it when me and you was fine. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say I'd
But
recommend you let him on, but whatever you feel safe with.
well, I'm not letting him on unless I know that he's not going to be some East Indian guy that's going to throw porn on my in my channel, because this happened to me twice already.
Well, then,
And I don't know who this guy.
then have him temporarily turn on his camera
That's
and
what I
wave to the
tried to
camera.
tell him, and he's not doing it. So I just booted him. I don't have time. And you at least waved and let I know who you are, and that's fine. And I didn't want to have you do that thing, you know.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm taking a
okay.
risk.
All right.
I've ruined like 2 streams already. That everything was going good, and then all of a sudden, some dude does this, and because I'm not on a delay on here, this is coming in real time, you know.
Right. We're live right now.
We're live, and there's no 7-second. I don't know. Somebody said use OBS. Well, OBS takes up a lot of memory. This is directly from cloud to cloud. It just works better this way. I like this streaming thing. It works good, and it's free too. I'm using the free version.
Yeah.
You don't need to pay for this stupid thing. I would never pay for StreamYard. You better pay me a lot of money. I would have to be making a living out this where I would buy, because they want $8 a week, not a month, a week. So it's like 32. I figured it out. It's about $400 and something a year.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I actually think that would be too much even every month, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's
So,
what that
anyway,
it is.
what are we talking
It was
about?
like $18. It would be like, I added it up. Now there was an offer they gave me one time. They never rebooted. It was $4 a week, which would have been like $200 a year. I should have jumped on that when I had a chance, but I didn't. So, oh well, it happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, also this is a pretty good tool that you're using right now. That's free. I mean, you know, you're still doing all right if you ask me. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, it's what were we talking about? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm losing my mind here. I definitely am not going to do this till midnight, because I wanted to keep it even here. But yeah. So you were saying there was something else. We got lost in thought here. We were talking about how basically we agreed that this stuff is being hope porn. We talked about that. We talked about I don't know. There was something else we segued into, but I might as well just let you keep talking.
Well, you know, we can talk about, you know, the macro, or we can talk about the micro. Typically, especially when there's a young man in the chat, especially if he's kind of new to the community, I almost want to make it. I almost want to turn it into the format of almost like an AA meeting. If you've ever gone to an AA meeting, and I have, when you're new, especially when it's your very first AA meeting, it sort of transforms the second that you admit that that it's your first AA meeting. All the other members sort of gang up on you, but they're not ganging up on you. They're so enthused that you came in that they sort of concentrate on you. When there's young men, I like to very much make it about a macro conversation. How are you? Who are you? What are you doing? But, you know, it's also interesting to talk about large ideas. What's happening?
I know. We're getting ahead. We both agree that society, this game is screwed up, and we're not going to listen to guys like Jeff Galloway give us his stupid $40 million advice about how, oh man, you just need to step it up. It's a tough world out there. You know, that type of nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So I made a video. With MGTOW hybrid.
Yeah.
He has changed his name, I think, from MGTOW hybrid to Lord hybrid. Now he's Lord hybrid. Him and I, we made a video, and we were analyzing Professor Scott Galloway. Professor Scott Galloway, he went on. Who is that guy? He's a guy in his 60s. He's Jewish. He wears Mayer. He wears glasses. He's a comedian. He runs like a late show. I can't remember his name. Oh, that's okay. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Right? So I made a video about Scott Galloway, and what I was saying was, the way I see it is, Scott Galloway is essentially an apologist for global elite, the
Oh,
global elite.
totally. And his mother, his on his mother's side, he's a member of a certain group from Eastern Europe. Yes, he's also.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, he
No,
is.
I
You can
didn't know
look him
that.
up. His mom
Okay.
is from the shtetls of Eastern Europe. Yes.
Aha. I'm telling you, the more
There's
I look
always
at,
a.
it's like almost every time. Almost every time. Now, see,
It's like there's a connection here.
no, it's fascinating, frankly.
Yeah.
And you know what? Because you bring that up, I also want to mention that he sort of fits I thought he fit a very key demographic. So I called him an apologist.
Yeah.
I think, of course, he speaks to all men, but notice how his last name, you would think, because of his last name, that, well, Galloway, I mean, that's the Scots Irish.
Well,
So,
no, yeah, it's a Scots Irish father, but it's a he's let's put it this way: he can become a citizen of Israel. He is legally allowed to become.
Right. So,
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I think the system props up certain people, and but they're not, people like Professor Jordan Peterson or like
Right.
Professor Scott Galloway.
Yeah,
why do they give us Galloway? Well, because he fit. Well, no, I'm serious. How come they don't give us Professor, Motombo Bombo from,
Yeah.
Zimbabwe? No. They target their audience. Look, the way I see it is this. Speaking frankly, right now we're being flooded with immigrants. Certain people are losing. Among them are like the working class, like Irish, the Scots Irish, Appalachian people, the working class white people in this country. They're being dispossessed and displaced.
Right.
Well, so we got to bring on Professor Scott Galloway, and he's here to explain to you why it's okay. Your county is being flooded with immigrants. They're willing to work for half pay. But if you just, what is Professor Jordan Peter? What is Professor Jordan Peterson say? You got to make your bed.
Yeah.
You got to make your bed.
Yeah.
You just buck up, Bucko. It's like no, fuck you, you. You elites are screwing us over.
Yeah.
But you got apologists like Professor Scott Galloway. You have apologists like, Professor Jordan Peterson, and they're here to tell you why it's okay. No matter what,
it's okay, but you at the end of the day, you need to blame yourself. It's a tough world out there. You need to blame yourself.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That is the message. When you ultimately, in conclusion, in the final analysis, people like Professor Jordan Peterson, people like Professor Scott Galloway, their ultimate message is, it's your fault. Are you a man? Are you being screwed over? Well, it's not the system.
But see, guys like me are putting a monkey wrench in their machinery, and there's going to be guys like me that are going to say, you know what, Steve, about your demographics theory, holy cow, the emperor is butt naked, and I didn't realize it. They're going to realize what's going on. It's not because you got a little, a lot of these guys, like even my friend Mitchell. He's a Jewish guy. He's a nice guy, but he blames himself for having Asperger's. He's like, well, I just ain't in the cards for me. It's just not in the cards for me. I said, dude, stop blaming yourself. I said, look, it makes no sense. I got a guy that wants to come in here. How you doing? Do you want me? Are you cool? Okay. Let me let this guy in. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
How you doing?
Good to see y'all.
Okay. So what's your story, sir?
Well, I've been watching for a while. I've been watching you, Steve Hilka, for a while. And I kind of just wanted to add a point to MGTOW.
Okay, sure.
So from my recollection, from what I gather, you believe that with what's going on in today's society, that it has destroyed the norms of one male can have one female, and how it's ostracizing whole classes of men that can't find a woman, for example.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the case for the last several decades. Yeah, but it's getting worse. It's getting horrible.
But I would argue to you that that's actually the natural course of things.
I agree. That I agree with too. I totally agree.
And what happened was with the 1900s, when Western society started becoming more religious and more with God and everything, then people respected the marriage and whatever. But before that, I think it was more one alpha male getting 10 females, 5 females, because
Yeah.
we're primates. I mean, we are mammals.
But we're
I mean,
still civilized to some degree. Come on. We're not
Right.
that bad. We're a little more
Right.
sophisticated than baboons.
But if you ever go, that's my point, is if you ever go to a zoo, you'll notice that there's two males to every 10 or 15 females, and they're all going after the same 2 males. And then you'll see these other males that have something physically wrong with them. They'll have like some kind of deformed something.
Well,
and they're off to the side.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
and that was sad. I actually saw that in nature where this one baboon had lost its arm, and everybody in the tribe just ignored it. And it was sweet little animal. It was hanging on one leg arm. He was still surviving, but it was sad. It was just like they ignored him. Yeah, it's horrible.
So I'll say that's actually the actual when it comes to our instincts as far as mammals, I think that's the natural order of things, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I've heard this too, and I'm not saying I disagree with it, but I think that when you screw up the ratio and balance, and you have all these excess men, which I believe also has been the norm because of wars, wars helped alleviate this problem. I hate to say it, but you now have you're bringing in all these men from the third world. Then you had these baby boomer men that said, "Oh, screw you, I'm just going to get mine." And I've even had boomer guys say, "Well, if you're not good enough to get a woman your own age, that sounds to me like maybe I'm more," that's kind of a boomerism mentality. So I do think that there's a demographic issue that's causing this dysfunction. I think it's 3-4 men competing for one woman. And every time your value is crap when you don't have an equal ratio,
Right. Yeah. And I think 100%, but also too with social media, before the internet, we couldn't compare, like women couldn't compare us to so many other people, but being that you got social media and everything, now you got females wanting to be with Brad Pitt, and
some do, some don't find him. I think that you're right. That's a fact. Hollywood didn't help it. But I mean, then you have to remember, even in the 60s, people were getting married and having big families. I mean, it wasn't like, even when the Haight-Ashbury thing was going on, people in San Francisco were still having kids and getting married. I mean, it wasn't completely destroyed,
Right.
I know a lot of people who grew up and they married their high school sweetheart in 1970 or 71. And I'm thinking, well, that was like during it. Well, yeah, it was, but it doesn't mean that everybody was participating. I think it's numbers. I think that the excess of the male problem, or I should say lack of enough females, I think that there's no incentive for the politicians to change this. That's the big thing that First talked about. He said there really is no incentive for them to change it. So it just continues. But wow, 100, yeah.
And you think about females. So a lot of people don't realize is males are meant to be biologically evolutionary. We're meant to be with several women. A woman is meant to be with one guy, and I'll tell you why. It's just because of the natural order of procreation. A woman is pregnant for 9 months. A guy can get.
I know, but we're talking about a subject we've talked about ad nauseum. I mean, this is nothing new. Like this whole biology, women have to invest all this. This is stuff we've gone through in the manosphere for the last 20 or 10 years. It's nothing. That's not a new revelation, which you're bringing up. It's nothing new. I'm more revolutionary because I believe what's causing the dysfunction is not all the biology. It's demographics. You simply have too many swinging dicks out there. It's that simple. That's my premise on this.
But demographics, there's just as many women per man.
Oh, no, there's not. Absolutely.
You don't think so?
Absolutely, dude. Look at the online personals. It's look at how many shit kickers you see walking the streets during the day with the 12-pack of beer in their hand. These guys, they're like, they come out in the day and they sleep at night or whatever, but they're always drinking during the day. I'm telling you, to say there are just as many women as men, it's not.
Oh, I would say
it appears that way.
And another thing, women live longer than men do.
They do.
Well,
right. Okay. So you're right. They live longer, and there may be more women in a geriatric age. But let me just ask you something. If you think there's just as many women as men, let's just say hypothetically, your theory is that there's just as many available single women as men. How could you possibly flood the country with illegal immigrants, mostly men, and also bring in H-1B1 visa men and expect the population demographically to be the same. You couldn't. There's no way it's possible it could be like that. You'd have to have excess men at that point.
Well, I mean, I'll give you an example. So I would date a woman that's 8 years older than me because, but I'll just put it to you this way. I think it appears that there's more men. So like if you go on this, like, let's say Plenty of Fish or some kind of social whatever, you're going to find it's 9 men to every 1 woman. But that's just because it's not natural for women to go online to find a man. A
That
woman,
I agree. So you're saying that, in other words, more women are choosing not to go online. But the only other problem with that too then is if there's just as many women as men, by default, you wouldn't have guys going year after year after year with not even a woman showing interest. Now, I can tell you this from personal experience, and I'm not like hideous when I go to the gym. I have never had a woman at the gym show any interest in me at all.
dude,
in all the years I've gone. Now, what? Thousands of times or hundreds of times, something is going in the demographics that's causing this where there isn't enough. And I believe that what is causing the dysfunction is it's the invisible. I think that demographics favoring women is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, in my opinion.
I talked to guys who would be considered, they would look like, I wouldn't say Brad Pitt, but I know guys that are very well marketed, and you would think that they would be able to get women, and they have a hard time. I'm talking, and it's crazy. But I will say it's women's nature. It's in their nature to be plucked. You see what I'm saying? It's in their nature to be picked, and they're not pursuers. It's men that be pursuers.
Okay, so then my question to you is: are you a stud? Do you get women?
No, hell no.
Okay, so then please don't tell me you're going to blame yourself for it, because I don't think necessarily you're hideous enough to justify.
If I were aggressive, that would be my only shot. In other words, I'm not going to walk out into a mall and women are going to be like, because you know how women will make themselves look like they're available to the right guy. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I see.
If someone was attractive, a male that was attractive, a woman's not going to be approaching them, but they're going to make themselves available. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they'll wink, they'll whatever, they'll
Okay.
Whatever.
Why do you think it's not happening for a lot of men? Why do you think that a guy will go year after year without something as simple as just a woman smiling at him? Like something's up with this. Like, I mean, it just can't be. Nothing could be so dysfunctional like this situation we're in today.
They might be so brainwashed now that, because they're trying to find their soulmate. They're trying to find the one where guys could see someone every week.
I'm going to let MGTOW Cowboy interject here because I'm not agreeing with this guy, but that's okay. MGTOW, you give him your opinion.
Well, I agree with a lot of the things he's saying. I just think that it's an interplay between many, many different things. Okay, for example, this gentleman, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but if I may, this gentleman, I'm sorry, what's your name, partner?
You can call me Rubber.
Rubber? Like,
well, that's my username is Rubber Wilbur.
Okay, I'll call you Rubber.
That's fine.
Okay, so one of the first things this gentleman brought up is, the concept that, and I completely agree with him, in the past, of men did not procreate. In the past, and we know this through the study of mitochondrial DNA. This is a fact. If I remember correctly, the exact number is 17%. Prior to about 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, only about 17% of men. Let's just say 20. So 1 out of every 5. Only 1 out of every 5 men historically passed on their genetics. Okay, so you start from there. All right. Okay, so most men are excluded. What happened? Something happened. There was an anomaly where something weird happened. I think it was mostly Christianity, actually, where this culture created itself, where we started pushing the idea that there should be 1 man for every 1 woman. and that lasted for hundreds of years. I think now we are reverting back to
Yeah, that's
where
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you.
One
That's
guy has 5 or 6 girls.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
now I also want to bring up the idea that the idea of child mortality. For that matter, really, you could just say a lowering of IQ. Okay, in the past, prior to even like I don't know 100, I'll say 150 years ago, a huge number of children would die in childbirth. Or what is it? I remember learning a statistic like 1 out of every 6 children died before they reached the age of 10. It's not like that anymore. The vast majority of children survive childbirth, and the vast majority of children make it to adulthood. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that a lot of low IQ people are now entering the gene pool, and over time, it oh,
No, I hear what you're saying.
it's an interplay.
However, um, I think it evens out when you take in consideration abortion, of how many babies that are aborted and how much contraceptive is being used today, whereas as 200 years ago they didn't use contraceptive.
There's so many factors. It's like so child mortality, and plus the game tournament theory versus pair theory. Okay, how did the pill change, or how did the contraceptive change our society? How's mass immigration changing our society?
Yep. Well, you got a good point. And remember too, the vitality of the baby. When you were talking about IQ, the majority of babies were born with mothers who were in their and fathers who were when the parents were in their teens and early 20s. Now parents are waiting until they're into their 30s and 40s and having babies, and that makes the baby less healthy and viable the older they can get.
Yes, I just read even affects men. I can't remember the exact statistic. It was like if a man waits to have a child, what is it, after 45, the kid's like 10 times more likely. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Yeah,
autism goes up by 40. Yeah, and women lose 90% of women lose 90% of their eggs by the time they're 30. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you said that. I just cited that exact statistic a couple hours ago at dinner. I was talking to this young woman, and I told her that exact same thing. We're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. If you're the average man in Western society, you're facing a ton of problems. The economy's going to shit. We're being flooded with immigrants. At the same time, the women are being brainwashed not to want to pair up, or if they do pair up, they're for example, like the white women are being brainwashed to only go for black men, or for various other groups, but essentially to date out. I mean, we're how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go? The Federal Reserve Bank is devaluing the purchasing power parity of your dollar is going down. There's so many problems. What I tell men is there's a whole bunch of problems, but there's a couple things you can do to get in shape, stop using drugs. Don't. Oh my God, don't give up. If you give up, trust me, you're gonna fuck. It's like the concept of if someone picks up a gun and starts shooting at you, you better pick up a gun and shoot back. If you pick up a gun and shoot back, you got a fighting chance to win. If you don't fight back, you're gonna get mowed down.
Well, the biggest change that's going to happen within the next 10 years is technology and artificial intelligence. Because I will tell you that 90% of the jobs will be gone within 10 years. The only jobs that's going to be left is going to be manual, hard labor. Is the only thing that's going to be left. And we've already seen that. Because I'm sure you've heard of the singularity and how fast technology exponentially grows. Well, we've already...
I think, the Singularity is a book that was written by was Kurzweil.
Yeah.
Tom Kurzweil. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But the idea that eventually,
But we've already entered into it. It's happening now. Like I feel it every day that you go out. I mean, almost every single white collar job is going to be taken, and then eventually robotics is going to take over and take all over the blue collar jobs. So there'll have to be a basic universal income that they have to give to everybody. There won't be any jobs, so the government's going to have to tax these corporations, and they're going to send out. And I hate socialism, but they're going to have to end up sending a check to everybody just to survive. And then what's going to happen is your focus is going to change on not surviving, but living longer. So you're going to have to be focused, like you said, on your health. That's like the number one thing is your health. And that's going to be the goal. And I agree with what you're saying about population with all the immigration and stuff. But I will tell you that technology is growing so fast that there is plenty of resources. The problem will eventually be, and Elon Musk said that, is not enough people eventually because of how technology is growing so rapidly. It'll meet all of our demands as far as energy, solar power, where they'll be able to harness more energy like in a microchip than all of the energy that we can do together right now.
Well, I have two things to say to that. Number one is I believe that we live in an environment where energy could be essentially free, but the elites will not allow us. And I'll develop that idea in a second. But the second idea I want to bring up, this was in the news recently, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. What is it? The Chinese leader, or I'm sorry, the Russian leader, Vladimir Putin was talking to the Chinese leader, president, what's his name? I can never say his name. Xi
Jinping or Xi Jinping or whatever is, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a hot mic moment. He didn't know that he didn't know that his mic was on, and he was telling Xi Jinping, I mean, with the way things are now, technologically, we're at a point now where the upper middle class or people who have money can easily live to about 150. That's what he said. So
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's yet another trend. That's yet another, change in society.
People have you noticed that? Have you noticed that people are living exponentially longer? Like Nancy Pelosi can walk like a 40-year-old businesswoman down Wall Street. Like I don't understand why these old people have perfect health. Like they should be dead by now. They shouldn't have lived this long,
Okay. So I was just listening to a lecture by Professor what's his name? Professor Zhang. Have you guys heard of Professor Zhang? He's recently become very popular as of late.
No.
Oh no, okay. He was talking about exactly that. I think the title of his lecture was gerontocracy, and he basically made the point that we are also entering a phase where we will be governed and mostly influenced, especially politically, by old people. So you have all these old people, no one's dying. All the federal senators. They're all going to be people not in their 50s and 60s, in their 70s and 80s,
and 90s too. Oh, we got one of these. Yeah, go ahead.
Senator Feinstein died in her office at like 91.
And then Chuck Grassley's like 94 or 93. Like he's from Iowa. I want another term. I'm going to run for another term.
Well, I'll tell you one reason is they're in power because who's controlling them wants them to stay in power because they're starting to lose grasp of control over younger politicians and people.
Well,
and they see that. That's why Biden got in. And that's the one reason
they're not going to stop this. They're going to continue to keep these old people. Like Bernie Sanders, I have no interest in him. First of all, he's never done anything. He's a warmonger. He does support bombing in Russia. And the guy is an old fart. I don't want to listen to another guy who was born pre-1945. For crying out loud, how long are they going to keep recycling these pieces of garbage,
Right,
it's insane. These politicians, how old they are.
Not to mention, he's a huge hypocrite. Before he became a millionaire, who would he blame? He would openly and publicly say, we gotta tax these millionaires. We gotta eat the rich. Well, now he's a millionaire. Now he doesn't say that. Now he says, we gotta go after the billionaires, and it's like, screw you. Of course. He's a career politician. He's never had a real job in his life. Same went for, Joe
Dennis
Biden.
Kucinich, he's from the Cleveland area. Never worked a day in his life. Yeah. Yep.
But I think it's exciting times that we're living in.
I hear that a lot. Oh, these are exciting times we're living in.
They really are.
I think they're horrible times we're living in. I don't think they're exciting.
I
mean, I guess if you're into,
Well, I think the potential.
yeah.
I mean, think about 100
It's
years
just the
ago.
potential.
You have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start feeding the cows and working the land until 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then you start it all over again at 5 o'clock in the morning. We don't have to do that, which is kind of nice. I mean, I got a little small glimpse of that when I was younger, when I was a kid, working on my grandfather's farm. But can you imagine having to do that every day the rest of your life?
Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from, partner? Where are you from? You sound like you're from like south of the Mason.
I'm the South, but I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live in
Guys, I hate to
Central-
be a rude. I got about 5 more minutes. I wanted to close this out before midnight. So, but you guys want to wrap this up and we can do this another day?
Yeah. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I guess
just very quickly. I'm sorry.
Ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna take off again. Just to reiterate, I've said this 100 times. If I had 30 seconds to talk to a young man, I would tell him things are not going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You think of it as a managed decline. The best you can do is essentially get your shit together as well as you can. Stop using drugs. Absolutely stop using drugs. All drugs. Yeah.
All drugs. Oh, yeah.
Stay
off of alcohol too. Yeah, completely become completely in
all of it.
Because
all of it. All of it.
And processed food. Eat nothing but natural food. Real food, meat.
Yeah.
Meat, vegetables.
I agree with that.
Olive oil, all fresh foods, because the processed food is just as much of a drug as alcohol and pills.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, congratulations, guys! You got to see me eclipse 100. I got up to 114 today, so we broke a record. Our next goal is 150.
Oh yeah, even Bill Greathouse couldn't get that.
Well, I tell
you, he's done some good ones. But this is nice because it tracks your numbers, and well, you can track it in any live stream, I guess. But this is pretty cool. I like this live stream. I like this free version. It's nothing.
And then you're gonna get 500 in here next time you're on.
That'll be interesting, but we have to get people on board. We have to get the younger people to understand that this game is not going to end in their lifetime. And when they accept that, do you realize if everybody accepted the doom and gloom, what would be their next step? Let's say they told you that you're going to lose a limb. It's never good. You would already plan your life around, well, how am I going to go up? I think MGTOW could work. It really could work if men were realistic about it.
Okay, there's really only two ways to drastically change what would happen, or the outcome, or the current trajectory. Number one would be MGTOW. If enough men essentially boycotted this entire the format of this entire society, and it would just crumble.
Absolutely.
It would buckle under the inefficiency and the corruption of its own weight.
Right.
Or
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and this is the God honest truth, and I've asked myself this question. Let's say you were 6'2", you had full head of hair, you look like Brad Pitt, you had an IQ of 160, and women were instantly attracted to you, and you had the power. Would you not harness it? And I've asked myself if I would, and I would say, hell yeah, I would. So that's the dilemma. In other words, I would take advantage of being very, very attractive and very, very powerful. I would be a good person. I wouldn't hurt anybody, but I would definitely take advantage. Wouldn't you guys take advantage of it as best as you could? Wouldn't you fornicate? And if you were single, I'm not saying you would cheat on your wife, but would you fornicate and enjoy the hell out of your life if you were more attractive? And you found women that were just attracted to you in general. You didn't know why, but they were. Wouldn't you take advantage? I'm not saying you would be mean to them, but wouldn't you enjoy it?
I don't know. I think at this point at my age, no, because I'm too spiritually enmeshed in how I feel about things. But I can imagine a younger person probably would. Yes.
Right.
And plus, I don't have the.
I can tell you, I can tell you, I would, and I did. I spent 9 years in university, and I went to a cow college out west in a small town, and I was the big man on campus. With green eyes, and I could speak very well. And there are a bunch of, small town girls that really like that. Yeah, of course. If you have the money and the power, you use it. I'll leave it at that. Things are not going to get better. Things are slowly going to get worse. The best you can probably do is move away I tell all young men now, don't go to college. Unless
Yeah.
you're going
Well,
to
unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or something
right.
like that.
That's exactly what I say. Unless you're going to go for a certain profession, you're
Yeah.
specifically
Anything
going
else,
for
you're right. It's
being
a
an
waste of money.
architecture, a
Because
nurse,
they've
a lawyer,
diluted
doctor.
it. They've diluted the value of it. It's not even real education anymore.
I tell men pivot away from that and pivot towards the trades. Get your credit in order.
Mechanic, plumbing, electrician, absolutely.
You got it. You got it. HVAC,
Yeah.
trucking, welding. There's and just accept that things are not going to get better. Now the second way we can drastically change things, and I do not advocate this, would involve things that make a lot of noise.
For sure. Yes.
Violence.
Break a lot of things.
Violence.
Yeah. Oh no, violence will.
Violence.
It's the big arbitrator. It will arbitrate everything. It will be. Yeah. Violence is ultimately seems like that's where it's going.
I was just about to say, in the end, it's all held up by violence anyway. Tomorrow is the last day to file your taxes. What happens if you don't? Yeah. What happens if you don't pay your real estate, your property taxes for 10 years? Watch what happens.
They physically come here and
they're going to take your house.
They do. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and if
let's do that.
And if you resist them, they beat the shit out of you. If you resist them with a weapon, they'll just kill you. So it's all backed up by violence anyway. So,
hey Steve, just real quick.
If you're a young man,
quick question for Steve. Yeah. Have you heard anything from Dwayne Holloway? Do you know if he's still?
He came on and left a comment in one of my videos recently. But he's not engaged in the community. He just.
But he's still on the right side of the ground, which that's good. I was worried about him. I didn't know if he was still with us.
Yeah, he's still with us. I'm surprised. Good. But listen, I got to go because it's 11:56. Right. It is. Wait, let me do the date.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, I'm out here. Thanks for having me on.
Later. Bye now. Bye now.
February 26th or February 27th, 2026, and it's Friday. Thanks a lot, MGTOW Cowboy.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. You've been doing a lot of good work lately. Have a good rest of your evening.
It's getting better. 113 or 14 in the chat. That was awesome work. You guys are all awesome. Thanks for coming in, guys. Flip Wilson, Doomer Subhuman, everyone else. Excess Mail was in here. Great. And I will just show my face one more time and say bye-bye. I'm going to – let me get this out of here. How do I hide this? I will have to get out of here now. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in here. I'm going to end the stream right now. There we go.